Make sure I get this last clip since you want the people to cry.
Want
No,
the people to cry. I want them to feel my pain that I suffer
you want to
today.
feel the. It's all good, man. You know where we're coming from.
Super excited. Super excited.
I know, man. We're gonna have a good time. What up, world? Y'all know what time it is. It's Saturday nights with your boys, Flavius and Ulysses, right here on the Fellowship in Righteous Manner podcast. It's F.I.R.M, where we stand strong, where we make it through the week, through the day. We don't let nothing break us. You know what I'm saying? I ran into some people this week, and they was going through some tough times. I was trying to console them, and they was like, you know what I'm saying? I've been through worse. And many of us can say the same thing, you know what I mean? So standing firm should be something that is always celebrated. And we celebrating you being here with us tonight. It's Saturday Nights Live right here on the F.I.R.M podcast, on the F.I.R.M Facebook page, and on the F.I.R.M YouTube page. You can find us at the F.I.R.M 365 24/7. I'm not just saying at for my health. It's the symbol at the F.I.R.M 365 24/7. You can hit us up anytime, get involved in our content. See what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? We like to mix it up. Ulysses, how you doing today, man?
Man, how's life treating everybody? What's going on, everybody? It is Saturday night. You know, for those who had an eventful day, for those who were chilled and relaxed, for those who was in their jammies house doing some house cleaning. We welcome every single one of y'all to the F.I.R.M podcast. Man, I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well. Life is good. You know, I had a situation with my vehicle today. Don't want to get into all the nuances of whatever the case is. But my AC wasn't working all day long. And for those who may not know what's going on, Storm, holla, Quiet Storm, a.k.a. the voice of reason. He is the voice of reason for a lot of people. He brings peace into the conversation.
Yes, sir. Well, we hope you got
Mr. Stokes. You know,
some stuff to say about today's conversation.
Oh yeah. We going there today, y'all. We going there today. But my AC, man, wasn't working, man, all day, man. Hot air was blowing. It was 112, 113 degree with the heat index here in Florida. And I know everybody's going through a heat wave right now. Everybody's going through it. I just happened to go through it with no AC today. And it was just like the worst feeling, or one of the worst. It reminded me back in my postal days. My postal days, driving in a hot truck with a little fan that blows hot air and your feet right underneath the engine of the vehicle. So it's like, it's some horrible stuff.
But man, it sounds like it.
And then I called my boy Flavius up. Hey man, you know, talking about some things with the show. And I was like, bro, man, I've been struggling today, man. My AC hasn't been working all day. I've been riding with the windows down. And no lie, no joke, right on cue, the air started getting cold. And I'm like,
in the middle of talking, he was like, "Oh man, I ain't even lying." I was like, "I believe you, man. I believe you been going through it."
It wasn't one of those that you had to be there to, like, literally the air started getting cold. The moment I was 3 minutes away from my spot. It started getting cold. I was heated. I was hot, man.
Should have called you earlier.
Yeah, yes, bro. Yeah, and yes, though I used to have the license to go postal, I ain't got that no more. So I do got to keep it. Got to keep it mellowed out. I do got to bring it in. Got to bring it in sometime, because sometimes situations or people will try to bring it out.
There you go.
We'll try to revive. We'll try to revive the dead man, the one that you killed. The one that you put underwater, people try to resuscitate, but you can't let it happen.
But you can't. You know why? Because they say when it's too hot, get out the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So for you was too hot at the moment, brother. Your life, you see, the spiritual side is that your life is on fire, brother. You know what I'm saying? Where you're headed is you know what I'm saying? You remember when the fire that Paul was at and the serpent jumped out? It's getting ready to be some serpents jumping out of your life. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to make room for better AC. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? A fresh breeze, bro. I feel you, bro.
Blow, Lord, blow, Jesus.
Getting us started already, man. We ain't even trying to do all that tonight, man. We're trying to have a good. Go ahead.
Right.
You made it through, though?
Made it through, man. Life was good.
Were your clothes heavier after?
I had clothes that were light. They started the day light, and they ended dark. You know, sweat stains everywhere, the whole nine. But we made it through. We made it through, people.
That's right.
Grateful for it. But Flav, how are you doing, my good sir? How you living? How you living today?
Man, you know, doing well, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been inside all day, so I ain't really had to go through all of that, you know what I'm saying, as far as the heat is concerned. But I did this week. Felt drained, you know what I mean? But I got through the things that I needed to be responsible about. The weekend, and do you have activities? Are you going to do this and spend that and all this stuff? That's optional. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then you need to give your body a rest. Every now and then you need to act your age and not your shoe size. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then you need to just relax. Take it for you. You did a successful job. You did a great job this week. You know what I'm saying? You ain't miss a beat. You was on time, you was punctual, you was dressed straight. Remember that day you left your lunch and you was tripping all day because you was hungry or hangry? But you made it through that. You know what I'm saying? I did too. But it was it was a good week. It was a strong week. Last week, you know, I got a lot of cleaning done, straightening around the house and stuff like that. So this weekend it's been more kind of like, you know, my Thanos moment where I could just, you know what I mean, be still and be at peace and just watch over a peaceful house. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Have that moment where I could finally rest. So that's what I was doing today. That was the only goal in the agenda, and I was successful. You know what I'm saying? At that, my brother. Successfully relaxing. You know
Beautiful.
So, but other than that, man, I've been excited about getting on the show tonight. You know, it's Saturday nights. Been having some fun all week with the randoms. If y'all ain't catch none of those or caught none of those, catch one time. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about trying to be there just because we're going live. It's the platform on StreamYard that we go through. It leaves our live content up for content. You know what I'm saying? It's like a one-time hit. It just keeps on hitting. You know what I'm saying? So either way, you can jump on those, whether it's the daytime F.I.R.M or the late nights F.I.R M. It's random. Check those out. And also go back and check out other episodes of our reactions, F.I.R.M reaction videos. They're numbered 1, 2, 3. And today brings us to a very special occasion brought to you by my co-host, Ulysses, in the spirit, in the inspiration of reacting. Because we go through our lives, and no matter how we navigate our moments, there's things that come out of the woodworks, and sometimes we react to it. Your reaction may be sad. Your reaction may be, don't be laughing at that when something is funny. Your reaction may be heartfelt and sincere. Well, today, we want you to share with us your reactions as we give our reactions to a couple of clips that we set up specifically for our reaction episode. So comment live, Don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, you need to wait a minute while we're on. Drop your comments live because we getting ready to get into some, I don't know what you want to call it. What you call it, Ulysses?
We gonna call it as what it is. You know, like a live reaction. We want that fresh.
It's a live what reaction though?
It's a fresh reaction.
You close. You got the F right. It's
fervent.
Okay, fervent. That's good. Strong emotion. Okay. So close, brother.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Funky.
I'm just gonna say it because y'all done already said it, and y'all probably telling him to hurry up and say it. But we don't rush our host. So what is it, man, that we getting ready to get into?
We getting ready to get into some
F.I.R.M. reactions.
Yeah. Be released from that anger, resentment, and bitterness. You know, that's evident.
Our context on it, and it kind of changed the definition.
Convinced himself that he's sufficient for himself.
I love discipleship. Why I love mentoring.
The us and the us and them is ever growing.
Facebook posts, Instagram posts, just another way of connecting with people.
Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another great conversation of F.I.R.M podcast.
What up, world? This is the F.I.R.M. Right, that's right. And we want to put up this message right now. As far as the copyrights are concerned, we're going to be using some clips that we will edit and later add the sources of those clips in there. Hold on one second. We got to make sure we get that clear real quick as far as the disclaimer is concerned. All right, go ahead, brother. And then the warning, you know what I'm saying? Pop your blessings. Hey, Charlotte, how you doing? Liz, how you doing? Welcome to tonight's celebration. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good one tonight. You know what I mean? But other than that, we just want to let y'all know, caution to those of you, you may not react the way that we react to certain stuff. And that's all good. That's okay. Everybody don't react the same way to everything. But we be having reactions to stuff. Stuff goes on in life. And the more you live, the more you notice, the more you have responsibilities, home, social media, things like that. The more stuff you're exposed to. There's different things hitting us every day. We're not trying to cover everything. We just want to present some things that have stood out to the community. You know what I'm saying? To the populace out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? And some of those clips we're gonna show tonight. But Ulysses, man, before we get into that, bro, how do you think we've been doing with the reaction videos, man? What's your consensus? How do you be feeling when we get ready for one?
Man, you know, honestly, I
like
think
a freebie. No.
You know, honestly, like the reactions have been amazing. You guys, you know, that are viewing the show live have been such great team players. You know, y'all are go with stride, y'all laugh, y'all get serious. Like, you know, we after the show, we go back and we kind of reread all the reactions, and some of y'all be serious, some of y'all be getting the jokes, some of y'all, you know, but it's a live reaction. That's what it's all about. You know, so, you know, we come at it from a comedic standpoint, come at it, you know, we can throw some serious stuff in there. Like, I think one of the F.I.R.M reactions before, we talked about forgiveness. It was, you know, and so it's like, you know, so we do get to the nitty and gritty of stuff if we have
There's no nature to what you're saying is there's no nature to the F.I.R.M reactions. It's just certain things that are roll out at the time, you know what I'm saying? The point,
random
the
stuff.
overall theme is not the randomness of the clips. It's the reaction part. You know what I'm saying? Tonight, so you can put your thesaurus aside, you can put your theologies aside, you can close your book for the night.
Maybe.
But no, close your book tonight because if it ain't already in you, you ain't gonna be able to get it out in the hour that we gonna be here. So While we here, you're gonna have to flow the way we flow. All right, jump into our world and just flow. Let yourself go. You know what I'm saying? Relax. Go get you something to drink. Go get you something to snack on or something. Pop up on the biggest screen that you got, you know what I'm saying, in your house and just enjoy it. You got what you got over there? What you got? You know what I'm saying?
I got the Dr. Pepper cream soda. If y'all have not been put on to this,
Trusty. The you know what I'm saying? Okay is right there in the middle, brother. You can't go wrong with that. Oh, it's okay. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. Dr. Pepper too sweet. You know what I'm saying? I need a little kick in my drink. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say I'm a little older, but I forgot who I was talking to. You like strawberry milks and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You like that. You like a sweeter taste for your palate.
I do. And that is, you know, especially at my age, I'm 43, you know, right. They say, you drinking soda? Man, you need to stop.
Oh man.
Oh, you got all that sweet, all that sodium. I mean, it's like, now here's the thing. Before we jump into the video, here's my thing. You know, I got to get this off my chest right quick.
Go ahead, man. Get it off your chest. We got a minute or two.
You got people who are like, you know, you got to eat right.
You do.
You need to eat right. You got one body. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. You gotta be able to allow your body to live. You gotta be able to allow your body to breathe, and you all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing: there's gonna be a day where me and Mr. Vegan Clean are gonna be in the same hospital room.
Okay.
They're going to come to Ulysses and be like, well, Mr. Vargas, you got diabetes, high blood pressure, you know, you got migraines, you got tumor, you got all that stuff because you drank too many Dr. Peppers and ate too much Taco Bell. And then they're going to go to Mr. Vegan Clean and they're going to be like, well, Mr. Vegan Clean, you're dying of nothing, but you're dying.
It's old age, you know, it's just your time.
It's going now. Obviously, you know, take care of your health for sure, but you know, live a little. You know what I mean? Like
I got a different diet, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know people are out here cutting carbs, counting carbs, playing fitness. You know what I mean? Taking more selfies than working out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you win, sometimes you ain't, but you get the credit for just trying.
I almost feel attacked. I'm
just saying it ain't about the consistency, it's the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah. I'm acknowledging yourself and others like you know what I'm saying, who are proactive about their health in the world. You know what I'm saying? I have no prejudices against that. You know what I mean? But like you said, at the end of the day, both of them are headed the same direction.
What is it? What is an aspartame? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I saw it, but I was gonna let you dissect that one. What is the rest of it? What does that say? It says addiction to diet, Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
Aspartame?
Aspartame? That's not aspartame. Is more like is it?
I mean, I ain't nobody saying we saying it right.
Yeah. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. For sure, I'm saying it wrong. For sure, I'm saying it wrong.
It's sugar, basically. It's basically sugar. It's fake sugar. And it's not good for the human body. You know what I'm saying? We need to go back to eating.
Substitute. Aspartame.
Yeah, we need to go back to eating grass.
Is it aspartame or aspartame? Aspartame.
Hey, tonight.
Donkey. You know what? I am not going to use the first three letters because that's a cuss word. So it's donkey pertain.
Whatever it is, it tastes delicious.
It tastes delicious.
Point being that you're right. You're going in the same direction. You know what I'm saying? So don't make me feel guilty because I went to the taco truck and got me some chicken and steak nachos and 2 meats. I like options. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me. When you see me, you know what I'm saying?
This is a no judge zone.
Yeah, when you see me over here just enjoying and pouring all the, I think this homemade sauce. All
right, to the videos.
Oh, yeah. Back to the video. saying all that to say, different strokes for different folks. Live your life how you live it. My diet, like I started off to say, is the diet in the Bible. The Bible says, honor your mother and your father, that your days should be long on the earth. So that's the diet that I be on. I call my mom, my daddy every week. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Pop? Love you, boy. Love you. Send them a text. Love you. Honor them at all time. And that's the diet I'm on. So I might outlive some of y'all, but don't be mad because I got the nachos along the way. You know what I'm saying? You had them at one point. They got vegan nachos, don't they?
Sure.
Sure. What you say? Diet Coke is in our bottles and cans and sweetened with and everybody's talking about that now, but I remember back when I was young, my parents thought that sweet and low was the best thing, was a healthier sugar. Man. Now today is just no sugar is good. But listen, that's not what we're here for. We're not here to react to sugar. I don't got no video clips for sugar. Anyways, we reacted to what you said in light of that. Ulysses, man, first clip we got, man, we just going through a couple of hot topics that are going on in the world that people have noticed. One of those being in the sports area, you know what I'm saying, specifically basketball. You know, a lot of people have been watching the finals and everything. They've been watching everything leading up to the championship games. And I mean, even myself, you know how I am about sports. I'm a fair weather fan.
Right.
I'm there sometimes I ain't. I watch the big games and not the, the seasons. But I caught myself in a conversation with one of my cousins, and we was watching a game, you know what I'm saying, against Boston. And I was like, the way it was going in the third quarter, this might have been 2 games ago, but in the third quarter, Golden State was leading. They had like a huge lead. And I'm like, man, Boston ain't closed up the gap by now. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get it. No. It was the opposite way around. Boston had the lead. And I was like, man, if they don't close up this gap, Golden State is getting ready to take this game. I said, this is why I said, I don't know nothing about basketball and y'all shouldn't be listening to me anyways. And at the end, I was wrong. And, you know, I had already said it. So I was like, hey, you know, told y'all don't listen to me. But I knew what the end was going to be. You feel me? Mm-hmm. What you got to say about the finals? You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors winning in 6 games. They were the better team. You know, Steph Curry is
come on, guys.
One of the best shooters in the game, one of the best point guards. So all that wonderful stuff, man. So congratulations to Golden State. Brother Dell's not here tonight, so we can't clown on him about his Boston Celtics. He was rooting for the Celtics.
Well, we can rub it in though.
Well,
hey, shout him out real quick. Somebody go get him. Somebody
gonna get him because his Celtics.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell him this clip is dedicated to him. Love you, bro.
The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals Most Valuable Player Award.
Thank you, Lisa. He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP Award goes to Stephen Curry.
Steph, there's been a lot of talk about this. What does it mean to you to finally get this Finals MVP?
It means we won. It means we took advantage of the opportunity getting back here. And I mean, I hear all the conversations. I hear all the chatter. We hear all the chatter. At the end of the day, it's about what we do on the floor. Ain't got to talk about it. Just got to go do it. And that's what this is about.
You said it during our post-game interview just 3 seasons ago. You guys had the worst record in the league. At what point did you believe that you could be back up here on this stage?
You always had a doubt, but you know how long the road is to get back here because of how hard it is to win on this level. Boston's a great team. Every team we played in the West is great teams, but we found a way to just get it done. And everybody on the stage had a part in this, from the front office, coaches, players. At the beginning of the year, what were they saying? We weren't even on the radar, and now we're here with 2 trophies, and it means a lot. It means a lot.
Every championship journey is different. How would you describe this one?
Just combining our championship pedigree and our experience with some fresh energy, some guys that are really hungry to take their next step. But we've built this for 10, 11 years, and that means a whole lot when you get to the stage because you know how to win. And everybody who's been a part of this knows what that's about. So this one hits different. This one hits different for sure.
Congratulations to you, Steph.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world. The 4th title in 8 years. The Dubs dynasty is still very much alive.
Woo! You know what I'm saying? They brought that victory home. They did it. I know there's a lot of people that was mad. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people from Boston or that was going for Boston that was like, it's y'all's year. This is it.
Underdog. They wanted the underdog to win.
Wanted the underdog to take it home. But, you know, every now and then, you got to let somebody know what you're made of. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then when people doubt you, when the haters come out and be like, you doing all right with your little, you know what I'm saying, your little success. Yeah, you made it, but you ain't top tier. You know what I'm saying? You been here for a while. Yeah, you got a nice shot. But you know, can you finish? That's one thing Pastor Charles Neiman told me in the Abundant Living Faith Center in El Paso, Texas. He preached this message one time. He was like, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And he was basically giving everybody a lot of encouragement and hope about what they were going through. And, you know, the more you grow and mature, the more I grow and mature, the more I realize what he was saying it came from a fatherly heart. And it's like only a parent can see past the mistakes that you're going to make perpetually. You know, those mistakes may change. You may not steal from the cookie jar. You may not, you know, hit your brother or your sister when ain't nobody looking. You know, you might not have the sticky fingers in the candy store or whatever the case may be. But as you get older, as you grow up, you start to realize that the process has more value than where you started. And where you're going to end up, you'll end up with the value that you picked up along the way. So don't underestimate what you made of. Don't underestimate your story. Don't underestimate your ability to show up and show out.
You know, when I was in the military, I used to box, and you know, I got some good training from some good people and all that stuff. And one of the advice that I got that still sticks with me today is there's a difference between a contender and a champion. And the difference is every fighter, when they get in that ring, eventually is going to get knocked down.
Bound to happen.
What you gonna do when you do get knocked down? And the referee starts counting that 10 count. Then it becomes mind over matter, mind over whatever it is that you're going through. Like they tell you that when you go to the gym and when you're working out, the mind is the first thing that wants to quit. Yeah. The body still has more to give, but the mind is the one that's trying to tell you, hey bro, hey sis, okay now, you need to hold on. But like there was one time, it was in a tournament that I was in, that this dude was a left-hander. Lefties are always hard to fight. He came in and hit me real good. I stumbled onto the ropes.
Yeah.
The ropes done caught me. He was so frustrated that I wasn't going down that he pushed me down.
Oh yeah.
And he pushed me down, and the referee was like, "No, whatever the case is." He was like, he got pushed. But I bring that up because sometimes in life we feel like we're getting knocked down, but when the truth is that you did not get knocked down. There is no 10 count for you. What happened to you wasn't right. What happened to you wasn't cool. It was illegal in a sort of words. But get back up. Get back up. The people that are doing you wrong are the ones that are frustrated. They're frustrated because what they thought was going to happen to you didn't. So that's all I got to say about that right there.
Hey man, what? Getting deep on them, sir. Anybody got something to say in the comment section? You know what I'm saying? Encourage somebody tonight. You know what I mean? Tell somebody everything gonna be all right. That was a good analogy as far as fighting in life. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant thing. Everybody wants to act like they got it all together, like they got all the answers. You know what I'm saying? Just whip out the book, whip out the knowledge. Let me tell you about such and such that I know. Let me tell you how long I've been doing this. But the truth is, man, we all are working at it. Give yourself some credit for working. You know, I've met people who give themselves credit for not giving up. I've met people who give themselves credit for getting at it. And I don't see them as cocky. I don't see them as having too much vibrato. I don't see them as being just alpha and all that other stuff, you know what I mean, or conceited or self-absorbed or all them other names that people use when they see a strong person that makes them uncomfortable. But I admire that in a person. That's admirable to be a survivor. To tell me about the easiest things, the difficult thing, the violent thing, the abusive thing, whatever it is, and me to have a eureka moment like, man, if you really wasn't as strong as you feel at times, you wouldn't even be here telling me your story. And so I see the strength in people's weaknesses because it takes a strong person to be vulnerable, as they say, and be honest with themselves. Because a lot of people ain't. You know what I'm saying? But man, with that being said, what Charlotte said, everything's gonna be all right.
Everything's gonna be all right, people.
That's my thing. That's my thing. Whenever I don't know what else to say because of the hope that's in me, you know what I'm saying? I always tell people everything's gonna be all right. It's gonna work out. And it's not. It's so much. Some words are so powerful that they bust through cliche.
Yeah.
To tell somebody it's gonna be all right and everything's gonna work out, you know it's cliche at times, but it's so powerful, it's so necessary to hear it. That you let it through anyways.
You know, and
you might walk away cynical about it, but you still be like, I'm glad that was just I was reminded. Go ahead.
I'm glad he said that. That. Because and here's the thing, man, like we've all been through so much stuff. And in our minds, our brains, and our emotions, our feelings, we feel like the next thing is the biggest thing we've ever had to face. But if we was to like truly remember what you survived, what I survived, though what you're dealing with is an inconvenience, and yeah, it may be tough, but man, you've been through much worse, and you survived that. Focus, perspective, perception. Change it. Change the way you see things, and it changes for you. Everything's gonna be all right. Somebody needs to sing that. You got a song for that, Flav? Go ahead and sing that, man. Go ahead.
Here I go. Stop crying, you baby, for I show up and change your diaper. No, oh, that's not the right song. My bad. Hold on. There was the lyrics working up to the hook was gonna be like,
That was beautiful.
More encouraging, more inspiring. You know what I'm saying? But
bro, that is America's Got Talent. Like,
I'm just saying. Let me stop. I ain't even gonna try. Listen, let's get into the next clip before I kill y'all ears with some more of my singing. I'll be playing, but don't try me. All right?
He could sing. He could sing, y'all. He could sing.
I'll be back to the can't sing. Anyways, here's a something that was in the news, man, that I felt like is gonna kind of change the tempo of the conversation that we've been enjoying.
Let's do it.
But don't worry, trust us, y'all. We're not gonna take you on a journey that you're gonna regret. So this next clip has to do with this whole reaction today is kind of like current events that have stood out to us, that have stood out to people in the world. Whether you notice it or not, going through your day-to-day life, there are things happening out there that are not easy to discuss. They're not easy to have the right answers for or about. But it is the real world. And if you're going to be firm for real, stable, immovable in life, in your purpose, in your goals in life, then you know already, we're preaching to the choir, but you already know that there are things that happen in this world that are not so good. And it's important for us as believers to pay attention to what's being done to the house of believers.
Well, today in Alabama, we learned the sad news that a third person has died following a church shooting near Birmingham. And we're learning more about the elderly suspect who is charged with capital murder. He's also a licensed firearms dealer. Here's CBS's Mark Strassman.
St. Stevens, have active shooter incident with injury. Scene is not secure.
Gunshots at a Thursday evening potluck supper. Mostly seniors sharing fellowship at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church outside Birmingham.
And an occasional attendee of the church that I will only identify as a white male was at the dinner. At some point, he produced a handgun and began shooting, striking 3 victims.
Local news reports say a visitor calling himself Mr. Smith sat alone. Longtime church member Walter Bart Rainey invited him to join the group. Smith declined and later suddenly started firing a handgun. Among those killed, the 84-year-old Rainey, 75-year-old Sarah Yeager, and 84-year-old Jane Pounds, who died from her wounds today. Suspect Robert Finley Smith was stopped when another church member hit him with a chair.
The person that subdued him is a hero.
Coincidentally, today is the 7th anniversary of the Mother Emanuel church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina. In a racist rampage, gunman Dylan Roof killed 9 parishioners meeting in fellowship. The FBI reports active shooter incidents jumped more than 50% last year from 2020 and almost 100% since 2017. Public records list the suspect as a master gunsmith. Not only is he in custody, but investigators have begun to search his home. They're hoping it helps explain this latest unthinkable moment of American gun violence. Nora?
Unthinkable is right, Mark Strassman. Thank you.
Well, as they say, you know what I mean? There is a lot of gun violence. Gun violence is on the rise. And I know a lot of times the mainstream media likes to pick and choose what examples of gun violence the rest of the world should pay attention to. But a lot of times those have to do with political biases and views. But there are violent crimes, mass shootings that are happening in churches. They've been happening. It's not the fact that we don't know. It's just this is a recent situation that most of us probably didn't notice that was going on. You know what I'm saying? And it marked an anniversary that happened over in South Carolina.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What you think about that, man? What's your reaction to that?
You know, it definitely breaks my heart. You know, I think, you know, when you're dealing with gun violence, you know, there's always going to be that debate. You know, right now they're, you know, trying to figure out a gun reform. Whether, you know, background checks, you know, and what can we do to curb it? What can we do to slow it down? Or what can we do to stop it? there is no denying, that is happening, and you're right. The mainstream media picks and chooses, based off of skin color, based off of, political alliances, and so, you hear arguments on both sides of the aisle. A gun can't kill itself. A gun can't shoot itself. So it's not the gun, it's the person. Well, what about the mass shootings that happen in Chicago every weekend? So you just hear a whole lot of arguments back and forth, about it, what's going on, what's happening, and unfortunately, man, it's like because you're dealing with greed, you're dealing with, I heard it one time. Someone who was actually in the political realm told me, he was like, hey, he's like, what you see on TV is not real. Democrats and Republicans, talking bad about each other. They hate each other. They, so and so didn't do this. He was like, they put an act in front of the cameras, and then they both go to the bar right afterwards. He's like, it's really nothing more than WWE. There has to be a good guy, there has to be a bad guy. But at the end of the day, they're both drinking at the bar, laughing it up. So,
or playing golf.
Or playing golf. So do we need gun reform? We need something. We need
some
something.
sort of solution.
We do need a solution.
What's crazy, man, is that everybody in the military knows how to shoot a gun. They're trained to shoot guns. They have families, kids, schools, the same stuff. Commissaries, grocery stores, liquor stores, you name it, churches. And these people who are trained and the police clock in, clock out. It's not saying that they don't live a salary life where you feel like you can't clock in, clock out. But military is, there is no clock, let alone clocking in, clocking out.
24/7.
They call you in the middle of the night and be like, you got an hour to be here. And you still don't see no schools or no military bases or places where there's strong. We did have that one in El Paso where there was a mass shooter.
That soldier.
Was that last year or the year before?
It was a couple of years ago, yeah.
Yeah. But if you, not saying that the audacity or the tragic part is that it happened. It happens way more often than most people are comfortable talking about or addressing. But whether you are in the church or not, whether you believe or not, wherever you are in America or outside, you know what I'm saying? A huge concern is our kids. A huge concern is our loved ones. Elderly, anybody who is in an environment where they are purposefully being vulnerable. You're not going to school to fight your enemies. You're going to school to learn. So you're supposed to leave your guard down. It's a whole lot of places on the West Coast and places on the East Coast where kids are going into school and they have to worry about protecting themselves. That's not the norm. The reason why there's so much more concerned in the school environment, they ops running up on them, is because this is a place where you're supposed to be vulnerable. If there was ever a place you could be caught lacking, there are certain places like that, not only schools, but churches. A church, a gathering, you ain't bringing no gun to even if I know preachers. I know a bishop who brought a pistol into any church that you call the house of God. He didn't broadcast it, but I know him and I know his kids and his grandkids. And if anybody questioned me, I could call one of them and they'll say, yes, he's not exaggerating. He's telling the truth.
Yeah. No, but the church I went to, we the armor bearer, they call them, for those who don't know what an armor bearer is, it's like, we was pretty much just the senior pastor's security. Right, and we had armed guards.
Church security too, not just the pastor.
Yeah, not just the pastor, but church security. So because maybe we should have gotten some of them clips where pastors are getting slapped upside the head with things of that nature. Because it's
We're gonna
crazy.
say that for the next one.
Yeah. But it happens though, and it shouldn't happen. There was one time that we had to. There was a situation where it was a domestic type of situation where the wife was going to the church and the husband was trying hard to get her. You know what I'm saying? So the security had to step in, and
I'm gonna get my boo back.
and he was talking about, I'll be back. Oh, I'll be back. You know what I mean? So so you take threats seriously. In church, it's sad it has to be done that way in the church for sure. But
and people be judging the fact that churches have security. The pastor got volunteers out here like he got Secret Service, and he got people out here directing traffic in the parking lot, Kingdom Guard, whatever you want to call them, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, do you understand the world that we live in? Back in shortly after Jesus's days, Paul was running boys in and out of houses. They would have loved to have somebody like Peter standing guard. They would have loved to, the Kingdom Guard. Anybody who's ever been a part of it, you should understand that that's your first orientation to being a watchman.
That is so true.
You don't have, what I'm saying, the only time outside of natural experience to watch over or watch for a threat is usually your family. Even though you might have a scenario in your job or something like that, if you have an active shooter and you're thinking what you're going to do in the process, even what you are calculating that you would do in that scenario is not what you would do if somebody ran into your house. And so God can't have nobody legally watching over his house. Where the watchman supposed to be at? In the pews shouting and crying because the Lord done touched him and did him so good. That's where most of everybody think a prophet is the only watchman. And where they be at? Swept up in the spirit. Don't you want somebody?
Maybe they felt some type of way.
Wall, watch it.
Maybe they felt some type of way when Peter got a little antsy with the sword, and Jesus was like, I
need me a Peter. I feel you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just we brothers now, you know what I mean? We born again now. So I feel what you was trying to teach Peter something different. Had it been James or somebody else who would have whipped out a sword, you probably been like, no need. But he was real.
Look, in my opinion, like I'm not doubting Peter's. I'm not doubting Peter's swordsmith abilities.
Yeah, he was cold.
But I really believe Peter was going for the neck.
Man, what? I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna let you do it.
I think Peter was like Thor. I went for the head.
You ever seen somebody swing for a punch and hit somebody in the ear? Or, be showing up thinking they about to land a punch in somebody's face. Be all on the back of their head. Like, man, it takes a lot to be precise. You had to qualify as a marksman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Close is no cigar. You know what I mean? Peter went for the ear and he was being nice. That's the way I read my Bible. Could have been worse.
I think he didn't go for the head.
He didn't want to go for the head in front of Jesus. He thought that was too. He didn't want Jesus to see all of that. Like, that's a little too much, but I'm gonna get this ear.
He was. Oh man!
Skewer this mug. They had pig ears at the market back then.
Right.
So right. Like, it's gonna be pig ears. Soldier
That's
ears
what it
tonight.
was. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah. No, he was going for the head.
He was going for the.
He was going for the head.
Bible don't record that, so we can argue about that all day. You know what I'm saying?
What do y'all think? What do y'all think of conversation?
Somebody in this debate.
Right. Was Peter going for the ear, or was he going for the head? Oh man.
But either way, this just how we fellowship.
That's how we
our
fellowship.
issues can hit the table, and we're gonna discuss it with our real personalities and not try to pretend to react the way we think we should react. It's called a reaction. It's live. This is how we react to stuff. That situation isn't good. You know what I'm saying? Pray for your local safe places, not just the church, because we're not confined believers. And I know some people who are believers that don't consider themselves the church. I meet them all the time. They be, at the end of the day, they living life however they living, but when they get down to the wire, they know where to go, where it's real. So there's no substitution. What he's saying?
Charlotte says that I feel his mark was obtained, and it absolutely was. Regardless of if it was the neck or the ear, that soldier, that day will forever be embedded in his brain.
And in that video, that wasn't kids like we've seen in the main media being victims of mass shooting. It wasn't home invasions or anything like that. These were elderly people. The man who did the mass shooting was an elderly man. And he did a mass shooting on elderly men and women. There is no age limit for the violence that we're dealing with. There's how can you legislate something that you think is only delegated to a small demographic? You think you need to deal with the people who have mental incapacities or setbacks or struggles. You think it may be certain ethnic. Am I saying that right? Ethnic. There you go. Ethnic. Ethnic groups. You may think that is just certain areas in the world, you know what I'm saying, that experience more violence than others, but even elderly people are being pushed to this type of degree. When you live a long time, sometimes your pain builds up and leaves us with more questions on the outset. And spinning from that situation into a situation almost in the same category as far as many people are feeling certain type of ways about it. I do want to drop this last, I ain't gonna say last clip, but I'm gonna drop this clip real quick. It's about current events in the war going on in Ukraine by way of Russia.
This morning, Severodonetsk is still standing, but all 3 bridges into the city now destroyed. There's no way out. President Zelensky says the battle for the Donbass region will surely go down in military history as one of the most brutal battles in and for Europe. Lacking the heavy artillery needed, Ukrainian soldiers are engaging Russian troops in urban street battles in the key eastern city. But even as losses mount for Ukraine, Zelensky says we are still beating back Russian forces. The head of Ukraine's armed forces says that Russia has 10 times more firepower than Ukraine. But additional help may be on the way. Sources telling NBC News the Biden administration could soon announce more military aid for Ukraine, including additional weapons and equipment, and it's badly needed. After Severodonetsk, Russian artillery is pummeling the town of Lysychansk, and in the firing line, the city of Bakhmut. There's nothing good happening here, Valia says, and it's not clear how this will end. But in places where there's no longer fighting, around the suburbs of Kyiv, a stark contrast. The Russians left Bucha 2.5 months ago. The city's synonymous with some of the most brutal scenes this war has seen. Yesterday, 7 more civilian bodies uncovered from a mass grave. Police say they were tortured, shot in the knees, their hands tied with tape. The recovery here slow going. A long road, and returning comes first. And resilience, says military psychologist Natalia Zaretska, is not in short supply.
How do you heal a town like this? How do you possibly start? Where do you start?
People would like to clean everything from Russia.
Just scrub it, get it all away.
Absolutely.
Now, an entirely different experience here in Dnipro. We also spoke with the woman Irina, who left Severodonetsk just 3 days ago. We asked her why she stayed, why she didn't leave earlier. And she said not only was it to care for her elderly parents and her grandmother, she hasn't had any cell service since the beginning of March. So she had no way to get news, no way to talk to friends. She had no idea how bad it had gotten. And since arriving here in the relative safety of Dnipro, she has not been able to reach her parents. Craig, I'll send it back to you.
Completely cut off. Molly Hunter Force in Ukraine. Molly, thank you.
Wow. Ulysses, man.
Man, first and foremost, it's man, it's like with everything going on in the world, everything going on in the United States, if you don't watch the news, you will forget that there's a war going on. Whether you agree or disagree, the cost of rising fuel, the cost of food, the cost of rental prop, like it's there's so much going on here that we focus on, and like, oh my gosh, I'm paying basically $5 a gallon, and yeah, on the other side of the world, there's people dying. And so to keep that in perspective is a must. And so, but when you look at the Russia-Ukraine war, depending on what you believe, who you want to believe, why did Putin go into Ukraine in the first place? What is really going on? What is Ukraine hiding? What is there's a whole, what do you call it, conspiracy theories or facts. But our hope and prayer is that that there's peace in the land. Our hope and prayer is that no innocent lives are lost. Being a soldier myself, like, I couldn't imagine having to defend my own homeland from an invasion. Like it's scary. It's scary and it's tough. Especially against an army that is more supreme. You heard it. Russia has the better equipment, more ammo. Help is coming, but it's not coming fast enough. So what do you do? What do you do? But be in prayer. Whoever's in the right, whoever's in the wrong, it doesn't even matter anymore. At this point, it doesn't even matter anymore, because millions of lives have been displaced. There are a lot of children who no longer have a father or a mother because of the war. There are many children who died.
A lot of families who don't have homes no more, because if you look at the property damage,
it's horrible.
It'll if people think that America has sent too much money during the war, get ready for the conversation or the arguments that you're probably going to be sucked into on how to help a country rebuild. A lot of times, America goes into a bigger debt behind trying to help people rebuild than they do, or try to rebuild infrastructure and all that other stuff, because we spend longer after the war is over. Some people have no idea why we in certain countries still. It's that other part. It's the end of it. And America seems dead set on helping, and there's a nobility to that. How much you help and how much that hurts the American people. There's a conversation for that as well. That's obviously being had right now. Many of us have heard them. War is inevitable. It's something that will happen. There's no amount of tears that can stop a bullet. And if you're a praying person, pray for who you are led to pray for by the Spirit and not just by your emotions. If you have an opinion, you can speak out on those things. Like Ulysses just said, though, there may come a day, you couldn't think about it, where you would have to defend your nation on its soil. America hasn't experienced that. We reacted to people bringing war to our soil, but we've never been known to be a war-torn country, unless it was us tearing at ourselves.
Civil War. Civil War.
Yeah, man, but a lot of people talk about that one world order and all these aliens and all this fantastical stuff that's going to draw us all to be one. Sometimes the one is the one among many. They say in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, sometimes it don't have to be an alien. Sometimes it can be a group of people who consider everybody else aliens. And, how they may or may not respond to others. So keep in mind while you going to bed, sleep in peace, whether you're a veteran, a civilian, or, what I'm saying, just any citizen of any free nation or a nation that is not currently at war. Just remember, there's two sides to the story. I don't believe everybody in Russia is the devil, and they're just dancing to a tune of war, because America's had their days too, and I enlisted during one of those days, many of those days.
Right.
But Ulysses as well. But it's not how you start, like I said earlier, it's how you finish. So war is a long game. Can't change anything that's happened. But people need to start trying to figure out what the exit strategy is going to be, how we're going to bring this to a close. Usually you want somebody's demands, but when you're dealing with somebody who feels like they're moving on purpose, I don't know, caught between a rock and a hard place.
It's
You know
tough.
what I mean? We kind of got to stand on the sideline and see what happens.
It's tough.
But,
it is a tough situation. War is never easy. You see it throughout history. Even when when the United States went to war in Vietnam, or when they went to World War I, World War II, the Iraqi War. It's there's always like because of us going to these different countries, even back in the 80s when we were dealing with Afghanistan and things of that nature, like there's always consequences. There's consequences to war. And war always breeds an enemy that's gonna, Osama bin Laden came to power the way that he did because something that America did years ago. If you look at the school books that they're teaching people in Pakistan and Afghanistan, like it is written to get you to hate America. Like,
and for them, it's for a good reason.
For good reason.
So convincing them that it's not a good reason ain't where I believe the argument should be. It should be on what would you say if you were standing in their shoes to yourself.
And we do it all the time. Like we hear something about somebody. I mean, we hear something about somebody else, a person, one person.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like him because my girl told me X, Y, and Z about him. Well, I don't like her because my boy said X, Y, and Z.
You know what I heard?
And that's just one person. So imagine dealing with a nation, man, and the things that America has done, because it's so easy to change the narrative to whatever it is you want. It's so easy to do that. I can be like, man, let me tell y'all about Flavius, man. Flavius, man, bro, like don't trust this dude because man, he this and he that, and then you have people that are gonna be like, man, I guess I can't trust Flavius then because if Ulysses said it, it's got to be true.
Like a non-trustworthy face.
And then Flavius can be like, yo, let me tell you about Ulysses. Ulysses X, Y, and Z, and then he's gonna
get me started.
Right. He's gonna have his people to be like, you know what? Yeah, I can't trust
just
Ulysses.
Because of the source.
And Charlotte said it best. Propaganda can be deadly dangerous. Absolutely.
Check your sources. That's always saying. Check your sources. Don't ignore it. I feel like politics are easy. When you look at war in a situation from a political, I don't care which side you want. I feel like you're alleviating the the pressure, the pain, the emotion, the stress, anxiety, whatever you feel when you really have to consider people going through atrocities. Whatever your coping mechanism is, that may be subconscious, it may be unconscious, but whatever it is, politics is a part of that thing that lightens the load because it turns death into a conversation. And the conversation is easier than dealing with death. And I believe that at some point we got to get past the politics of it and understand that Russia is at war, and it don't matter if they're at two sides. We've been at war here in America. It don't matter if it was Republican or Democrat. The Republicans didn't go to war. The Democrats didn't go to war. They go to war together. So in that situation, there's a thing that you can come out with, and they talk about war crimes and stuff like that. But one of the biggest ones is crimes against humanity. There's a line, many lines across the world with cultures, civilizations, nations, but there is humanity. And there's a such thing as a crime against humanity. And when you're seeing crimes against humanity, you ought to speak up. If there's a just bone in your body, I think you ought to, not as if your voice is going to change the tide, but your prayers should match what your mouth is talking about. So if it's serious about it and you didn't had a conversation with somebody about it and you ain't prayed about it, then you ain't real about it. Maybe you feel like you are, but I don't care about your ego enough to tell you. You ain't real about it. All right? Pray about it. Certain things we can't change through legislation. But we had to go there because that's where the world is. Can't acknowledge a dark world without looking at its darkness. But here in the fellowship, we are not going to end this light show in darkness. You know what I'm saying? There's too many of us that are going through things, and we can't change the circumstances of the people involved in the clips that we've seen, but we can be encouraging to one another. We can hold on and be hopeful for each other. Somebody like me, somebody like you, somebody like you listen. You know what I'm saying? Somebody at this table, you know what I mean, is maintaining through some of the hardest things that even the closest people in their lives don't know about. But we find a way. And I think that that's the perseverance of humanity. I think that's the perseverance of the original blueprint of man. And it behooves you to become a new man. But we ain't going to get on all that today. We'll say that for tomorrow. Yeah. But so we got to end this on a lighter note. We done went way past the time that we be intending to keep you all, but not past the time that is necessary for us to be here today. So, even though we're talking about deep, heavy stuff, I want you guys to come up for air. I want you guys to breathe just a little bit. Woo! All right, we addressed it. We talked about it. We faced it. We ain't got to do it every day. So to break up the monotony, I'm going to give you this clip right here and then follow that with one other clip that'll probably bring home some things that Ulysses said earlier in the show. So check out this clip, and this is a callback to mine. Ulysses' callback is coming next. My callback is, I said earlier, act your age and not your shoe size. Okay, people? Woo. Sometimes we are getting older and we are ignoring the facts. You know what I mean? You got a little couple extra aches. You acting like it's nothing. You acting like the power of your mind can somehow change your anatomy. But the truth is, when you get older, there's certain things you don't need to be doing. You don't need to be doing that. You knew it when you started to do it. But here's a clip just in case y'all need a reminder. I'm getting older. You're getting older. We're getting older together here on the F.I.R.M podcast. But just remember, act your age.
It's fun. Oh, I love it. Okay. You're not coordinated.
Through it.
No, he's gonna jump on top of it.
Don't scare him. He's gonna Jazz, he's gonna jump. Jazz, stop.
Hold on.
On your elbows, on your face. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Elbows down.
Oh no! Oh gee.
Goodbye. No hands, Jackson. No hands. Oh.
Touch your knees to the ground.
Oh my God.
Hustle. Oh, shoot. Oh, he's down.
All right. Hope that woo. You know what I'm saying? Let that be a reminder to some of y'all, because I know y'all done had one of them moments already in 2022. Nobody might have got it on camera, but you was out there trying to have a good time. I think everybody in that video was probably over 30. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to be a big kid again. Try to do what you used to do, jumping on the desk. Men, y'all out there like y'all still got it. You know, I know you tough at everything, but you might not be as flexible as you used to be. Might not be as agile as Spider-Man out here. Quit jumping on
the stretch. Forgot the stretch.
Quit jumping in your corporate suits or your corporate outfits on the desk. You know what I'm saying? At work. Getting caught, you know what I'm saying? So we can laugh at you. But you know what I'm saying? You done had one of the moments? No.
Man, I've had several, you know, including last weekend. Weekend, where, you know, my son is 18, you know, my son has got into boxing, you know, so he's in shape, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's you know, he hitting them body bag super hard. So I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
Had to see where he was at, check his temperature.
Yeah. No, I had to let y'all know I'm still stronger than him. You know what I'm saying? However,
I heard the story.
However, my lungs is not where it once was. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, because, like, you know, when you're doing the whole, like, I don't know if everybody just tried just doing this for 30 seconds. It was one of those situations, man, where it was like,
yeah.
All right, bro, stop, man. Like he kept hitting me, like, stop, dude, stop. Like, you know, like, cause like, man, like, it's like, man, I should have stretched first. You know, I need to sit down. I need to sit down. It's, whew, you know like so seeing those videos, especially the guy who got on that fence and cracked his nads, like it was like
saying? It was old nads too. You know what I'm saying? He probably ain't bust them joints on a fence his whole life, but out there acting his shoe size and not his age.
Not his age.
Had them ladies out there cracking up. Riding bikes.
Man.
You see how many people? It's like 2 or 3 people fell on a bike. All right, some of you women and men out there buying the
and
Hot
fell
Wheels and stuff. Yeah, it was a slow timber fall. Like, look how long it takes. Kids, man, when you young, they be stopped. They'll roll out of a fall quick. Older folks, man, we be falling slow, denying the inevitable.
We're seeing it. Oh, snap. Ain't nothing I can do about it.
You have whole conscious thoughts while you falling. Oh, no. I ain't gonna be able to stop it. I'm falling. Who's watching? But just wanted to end that with saying, while you being a grown-up and facing these serious issues in the world, don't let your guard down and get out here and forget who you are, what you're capable of. You can shine if you stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? I just turned 40. You think I'm about to do the same stuff that I was doing at 39? No. I don't need to prove nothing to nobody. I don't need to prove nothing to myself. I'm cool at 40. You know what I'm saying? If it hurt then, it probably hurt worse now. I do want to get in the gym. Side note.
Eventually.
But I've been saying, how long I've been saying that, you listen?
Like for 10 years at least.
Not that long. I'm talking about since I've been serious about it.
Oh, about 9.5. About 9.5.
It didn't give me nothing. I thought it was been like the last 1 or
4
2 years.
I say 4. I say 4 years.
For sure, yeah. Either way, how serious can I be if I still ain't been in there? I got you, John, you know what I'm saying? Both of y'all in the gym taking pictures. Y'all don't know it. Y'all be liking
Not me.
Status.
Not me.
Huh?
Said not me.
I seen you posted a couple this year.
Yeah, a key word. Couple. Couple.
One handful. With some space.
So man, I told myself this year, I'm 43. Either you love it or you're gonna leave it. Either you love it or you're gonna leave it. Self-love, people. Self-love. You know what I mean?
You know
So if y'all see a picture of me where I'm looking, not my, the whole belly, and don't mind me. Let me live. Let me live, people.
If the winter body is all year long.
Because they say the dad bod is it. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to fit in with the culture right now.
You know how many women I've met that was like, I'm not even attracted to super muscular guys. I mean, I think that a lot of women don't want you to be out of shape. Same with vice versa. This ain't just a men-only conversation because we male host. But I think they want you to just be in shape, not be out of shape, healthy. I don't think it necessarily matters about the stature or the figure, because every time I talk about being in the gym, have in the past, the reception in locally has been, I ain't even you gonna get a bunch of muscles, you gonna be all lumpy and hard. I don't like that. Your veins showing all in your arm.
All a woman wants or what a man wants is a good person.
And somebody who's going to be healthy enough to live a while with them if they decide to stay with them for a while.
And I just want y'all to know, I'll run out of breath when I walk upstairs. So, pray for me as I pray for y'all. As Neighbors always said.
New development? Is this a 2022 thing? Because
no, it's I felt like I was going through that in 2020.
Oh yeah. Because if you go through some of your photos on your private page, you know what I'm saying, or your personal page, you know, you go back a little bit. It's some Incredible Hulk looking pictures. Now, I don't know if that was the mirror of illusions, but I remember back in them days, you was talking big talk. You know what I'm saying? You was
I'm just stretching right now. I'm just stretching right now.
You like, I can eat whatever I want as long as I hit that gym.
Yeah. Them McDoubles was delicious in 2020.
So you kept up the diet, but not the discipline.
You preaching right now, bro. You preaching right now. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we need to get back to the discipline.
Though, you know, I do want to say that what's today? Saturday?
Yeah.
That this past
We're almost
week,
done, y'all. Go ahead.
this past week, I've worked out 3 times this week.
In the gym or at home?
Home.
You know how some dudes think that they working out, they be at home on the edge of the bathtub, pushing themselves up, like, yeah, I'm working out. I'm doing it. Getting the quads and
look.
Did 50 push-ups.
To be real, like some people will just work out like for like the first 10 seconds to get that blood flowing to make it seem like they've been working out for 2 hours, and then they be taking that picture. You know what I mean? Like the blood flowing right now. Let me just snap it right quick. Let me just snap it right quick. Let me just snap it right. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, I'm done. And then they
they
post on
working
there.
for the heart rate. They ain't working for the results.
No, they're not even working for nothing. They just want to look like. They just want to look like they're doing something just to say,
talk your
look,
stuff, boy.
Right. Now, I'm not saying I've done that. I just what I've heard. That's just what I've heard, people. Yeah. That's just what I've heard.
You know, sometimes you be on both sides of the coin, depending on where you at in the year. You know? But I've been all in my boys' DM, you know what I'm saying, talking to Ulysses and our brother John that we started, you know what I'm saying, this firm thing with. Like, y'all be always taking, John is infamous. He'll take a picture of the gym. He'll do a panoramic view. He'll just go around the whole thing and be like, yeah, get your life together. You know what I'm saying? Early morning workout. You know what I'm saying? Do it or you don't get done. It be, so I don't know, some type of inspirational thing in the gym. But I'd be like, why you don't never show yourself touching the weights? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you really working out. You might be showing up there having a latte.
Now Flavors did challenge me. Flavors did challenge me that he wanted me to record a video of me actually doing something because he was like,
I see some sweat drip or stuff. I don't believe y'all. You know John, too, if you watching, bruh, or you know his family members be a part of this fellowship as well. You know what I mean? Y'all see John, let him know I said it. You taking a whole lot of pictures of energy drinks in the gym, weights in the gym, mirrors in the gym, but I ain't seen John catch a weight in the gym. FYI. That's all I'm saying. I don't mean no harm. Love my boy.
And you know, and I took Flavor's challenge. One day, whenever I decide to get consistently back in a gym, I will take a video.
Okay.
I'll take a video. Now
I heard that right.
Now, if y'all go on my Instagram, like 4 years ago, you will find a video of me actually working out.
You know what? After we had that conversation and got off the phone and I was talking my big talk, I had to go through, you know what I'm saying, your stuff. And I saw you with one where you holding the weights. But it was, you know, that was some time ago. You know what I'm saying? I need to see some current events.
The statute of limitations has passed. For sure. For sure.
What's the statute of limitations? Hold on, I'm working out for real. I'm sure I'm past mine for saying that I'm gonna get in the gym and anybody taking me serious. But I am. My goal has been, I want everybody to see me how I look in my 30s. Take it in. I've been taking more pictures. I ain't really fully comfortable with taking a bunch of pictures, but I'm over that. I was like, I'm gonna hit 40. I'm gonna be taking more pictures, coming live more. We're gonna be putting out more content. So take it in. And then 40, like I've been telling my sons, I'm about to sculpt the 40-year-old me. You know what I'm saying? I want to be one of them, you know what I'm saying, zaddies, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how nobody feels about it.
Come on,
It
son.
made me feel good to have some white hair, some salt and pepper, but still be, able to go to the gym and take my shirt off, or the young dudes get to try me. I can at least look like I can hang. Like Ulysses said, it's that cardio might get me in trouble. But how long I can do something.
Right.
Might become the problem. But man, with age and with time, you learn the value of the process.
Yeah.
And no matter what we're going through in life personally, or what we're experiencing or reacting to things out in the world, it's important to remember who matters most, to show love while people are still alive, to forgive while you still have a chance. Sometimes the hardest part that people get hung up on when it comes to reconciliation is the right moment, the right time, the right opportunity. The truth is, real reconciliation or worthwhile reconciliation is spontaneous. There's no pressure for the moment to reconcile. There's no when's the right moment, how I should say it. Often, the greatest reconciliation or the greatest moments where we connect with other people are when it's not planned, when it's not scripted, when it's not scheduled, but you caught off guard, to be honest, vulnerable. And as ex-soldiers, as ex-military, as me and Ulysses are, we've had many times in life through certain experiences that other citizens of America may not have experienced. And whether it's not a competition of what that time was worth versus the time of any other American, we hope that it was all worth the same, working towards the same goal. And that was to be free, to have options, to make the best choices possible, to have great opportunities available, and to be able to pick yourself up if a door should open to you. So with that being said, man, one thing we want to leave y'all with, because we're getting ready to get out of here. I'm gonna let Ulysses have the final words before we get his last clip. But listen, y'all, be back next week. Next Saturday, we will have another. We're gonna be on time, 9 p.m. Sometimes reaction videos, depending on what's going on in the day. We're working on the editing. We're working behind the scenes to try to make sure that the product at the end, or that the experience that you guys have, is not rushed, and does have a little bit of a hint, a little fingerprint of the F.I.R.M on it. But with that being said, we'll be back 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Saturday. So be back with us that Saturday. We're still in June. I think we got one more Saturday this month.
One more Saturday.
So next Saturday will be the last Saturday of this month. It'll be the 25th. I want y'all to be back here. We are going to figure something out to end the year, or end the month off with a bang. We took some time off here recently, and so you know what I mean. All that rest, we feeling rested, recuperated, excited. We missed the show. We miss y'all. Hope that y'all missed us as well. That's why we started the random as well, so you wouldn't have to just wait for a Saturday night at a certain time just to get some content from us. Tune in, tune out. Watch as much as you want to watch. You ain't got to stay for the whole hour and a half, however long we go. Get as much as you can, but get it in your system, and tell somebody that we are on Facebook. Tell them that we're on YouTube. Our videos are shareable. Tell somebody. It don't cost nothing, and it may help us more than you think. Every pebble in the water creates ripples, multiple ripples. So with this last thing, I want to just say, Ulysses, being everybody experiences the homecoming. You know what I mean? There are certain types of times where you are reconciling with family, where you are reuniting with family, and those moments are priceless when they're real. So this last clip, man, kind of conveys that. In what way would you say?
Man, joy, happiness, shock. Have you ever missed somebody and then they surprised you? Have you ever like, oh man, like I wish I could see so and so, and then all of a sudden, like without, your parent, your family done got involved, like everybody done took you to the restaurant or whatever the case is, and you were surprised. Do you remember that feeling? That feeling of happiness, that feeling of joy, that feeling of happy tears, as they call it.
Yeah.
This next clip is gonna be all about that, and try not to cry when you watch it.
Brian Bogle, who just got back from Afghanistan. His daughters were in the audience, and this was the very moment they found out he's home.
Hi, I'm Master Sergeant Joe Martell. Just returned from Afghanistan, and I'm in Brussels. Surprised my son during his football game.
All right, guys, let's give a warm welcome for our guest chef today.
A homecoming surprise times 2. A military family together again, enjoying this moment forever.
Hey, Myers.
What the?
It started like any other day for Olivia and Madeline. Does anybody know who that is? Arian. Go give her a hug. Oh. Hi.
Just very surreal. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's actually happening, and I just want to go run over and grab her.
Please make welcome back home, First Lieutenant.
What Braden didn't know was Dad was just outside his classroom door. As Braden wrapped up, Dad walked in. The surprises weren't over. We walked down the hallway to find Braden's 6-year-old sister, Addison.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. There's dust in the room.
How you doing?
Man. You know what is so powerful about that, man, is when I got deployed overseas to Kuwait for 6 months, my daughter was like 1.5 years. And back then technology definitely wasn't what it was now. So literally, like, we were allowed to like video conference, I think maybe once a week or once every other week. If that. And it had to be scheduled and all that wonderful stuff. And so like literally for 6 months, my daughter maybe saw me like 4 or 5 times. Just with the whole video stuff. So in our briefing when we returned back to the States, they told us that, hey, for anybody who has small kids, if you have small children, don't take it personal, don't feel some type of way if your child doesn't warm up to you like they normally would when they see you every day.
Right.
So literally, man, I got home that night. My daughter was there at the house. She was like completely shocked to see me.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a big hug, and then pulled away as soon as she gave me that hug, and went back to it was one of her grandparents that was there, and it was like that was like one of the most gut wrenching, heartbreaking, like like baby, I'm your dad. I'm your daddy. What's going on right now?
Give me your love.
So literally, I had to spend that next day with my daughter until she started getting comfortable and all that stuff. But like to see that video and to see the children, like, and it's that genuine, authentic reaction that just like it pulls at the strings. It's like, man, like
can't fake it, man.
Can't fake it.
Man. And it's always good, like you said, that those times away are hard for our loved ones to process. But like you said, giving it time, once they know that you're back, then they can kind of, you don't judge people on the reaction when you come back into their lives. You judge them on the results of you coming back into their lives. And I think that's really what gets you beyond the moment. No matter how shocked, taken aback, surprised our loved ones are, coming back into their lives, that comeback that a lot of people are still hoping for in their lives, that comeback story that a lot of people are working on even right now. It's not, don't be so caught up in everybody's reaction to your comeback. Don't be so hard. I know you've probably been spending so much time away from folks, thinking everything under the sun, anything that could possibly happen or hypothetically happen, then crossed your mind. But the truth is, when you're coming back, when you're in the midst of a comeback, it's the results after. It's the results of that comeback that everybody responds to totally different than just the initial moment of the perception of taking it all in. And I want to end with saying that that's kind of how a lot of believers are about when our Lord and Savior comes back. A lot of people are concerned about if they're going to be ready. Have they been doing enough right? Did they do too much wrong? Did they make a mistake on how they handled that marriage, raised that child? Was they the bad kid? Did they take advantage of every opportunity? Did they put their dreams on the shelf? There's so many people trying to arrange and rearrange their life and try to get things in order for when he comes. But I want this last video to be a solid message to you that God is a soldier. You know what I'm saying? God is a soldier. He's doing what he needs to do. And when he comes back, his comeback is going to be less about all that you've been trying to do to be ready for it. And it's going to be about the results of who you'll be after the comeback. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's waiting on the Lord or people are waiting on you, just know it's going to be worth it. Just keep fighting, keep pushing, keep persevering, survive, because the reconciliation on the other side of your journey, it's going to be beautiful.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean, my last words is, regardless of what's going on, regardless of what's happening, I think what you, because I just had a conversation earlier with somebody about reconciliation, what that looks like, and what that really means, and so it's like when you're dealing with a loving father, and you saw the reaction, you saw their genuine reaction. It was like their dad coming back meant everything to them, and so take that into perspective, but take that into like there is a father out there who is coming for you the same way that the prodigal son's father ran to. Even though the prodigal son father even though the prodigal son was the one who ran off with the inheritance and, spent it on craziness and was living with the pigs and came home like, hey, just let me be a servant. Like the father ran to him, and there's a lot of historical context that goes into that, but the father had to embarrass himself in order to run to the son. So in God's eyes, he will look like a fool to bless you. He will look crazy in front of people who are looking at them like, what do you mean you're taking them back? What do you mean that you're giving him the ring back? What do you mean that like you're placing him back in a position as if he never left? What do you mean? That don't make any sense. How come you never killed a fatted calf for me?
Yeah.
And God's like, daughter, son, you've been here this whole time. All you had to do was ask. But you sitting here judging your brother, you're judging your sister because of what they did and where they went to, that you had totally forgot that I was sitting at that porch every day, knowing that we're going to come back. I was planning for this moment, that they would just see him from afar off. I don't know if they had binoculars back then, but he was probably sitting with binoculars in the porch, just rocking every day.
He ran to him when he showed up.
Ran to him. God is willing to look crazy for you.
I know, man.
But listen, y'all, we love y'all, appreciate y'all. Tune back at
I guess it's so deep.
Tune back again next Saturday night for another beautiful, firm podcast fellowship in a righteous manner. Tune back in tomorrow, Sunday, at the United Body of Christ Facebook page. If you're not following the page, we encourage you to go The United Body of Christ right here on Facebook. Subscribe, follow, all that stuff. We have service noon Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Join us for that beautiful service. And also, y'all, the newest edition of the F.I.R.M podcast is the random days or random nights. You don't know when we're going to pop up. Sometimes we don't even know. We don't even know when we're going to pop up. But stay tuned for that, because at the end of the day, it's all about just having great conversation, meaningful conversation, and moving forward in that capacity. So, Charlotte, good night to you. Thank you so much for sticking with us tonight. Before we get out of here, absolutely.
Thank everybody for sticking with us tonight. We did call out Brother Dale. He did chime in. He said that he was sick with intestinal virus. He feels terrible. Brother Dale, you're one of our top, viewers. And
I hope it was because of the Celtics. Hope because it wasn't the Celtics.
Hoping because, hope that wasn't, sometimes when you go through things mentally, it can affect your body. You know what I mean? On the inside. But
in Jesus' name,
we love you, bro.
We love you, bro.
We're going to be praying for you. Me and Ulysses going to be praying for you. Hoping and praying that you have a speedy recovery.
Yes.
A full recovery is what we're praying for you. We appreciate you so much. Each and every person who, especially all the regulars who are on here every Saturday night. But, we called him out. And in the midst of Dale's pain, he had to jump on here and let us know what the issue was, because he always be asking for us to go 2 hours. And today we almost did it. But we almost did it. And look, and you know what I'm saying?
In his honor, we went through hour 45. Hour 45.
Hour 45. This was for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully you understand where we're coming from, and know that it's always a place of faith and believing, that we don't just say that we're praying for you and anticipate you to get better. We're looking for the good testimony when you get back in good standing with yourself. Take care. Rest well. Everybody love somebody. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all. Be back tomorrow for the word. Be back next Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And keep your eyes open for these random episodes we're getting ready to drop. I got a feeling this week is probably going to see more random episodes than the previous ones. Other than that, we love y'all. This is the F.I.R.M Podcast.
Good night, people.
Stay firm.
Be released from that anger, resentment, and bitterness. You know, that's evidence.
Our context on it, and it kind of changed definition.
Convinced himself that he's sufficient for himself.
I love discipleship. Why I love mentoring.
The us and the us and them is ever growing.
Facebook posts, Instagram posts, is just another way of connecting with people.
Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another great conversation on F.I.R.M Podcast.